Okay, we got a caller calling in. SBGB TV, it's a live call-in show. What's poppin'?
What's up, DZ? I just want to say that first of all, like the last comment said, y'all do look good, and your numbers should be up there. And the whole thing with the like old girl say, I say I want to completely agree with her. I mean, it's almost like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. On one hand, yeah, it's sad they breaking up families or whatever, but I mean, like somebody breaking into somebody's house to feed their family because they don't have nothing. Yeah, I mean it's a gesture, a honorable gesture, because you'll do anything to feed your family. But at the end of the day, you're still a thief. You know what I mean? And right is right and wrong is wrong. And just because you done got away with wrong for so long, don't make it right. You know what I mean? So, I mean, and I ain't gonna lie. I'm an African American man, and I'm married to a legal Mexican woman. So, in my household, the conversation is real diverse. You know what I mean? Because I stand on what I stand on, and righteously so, she's gonna stand on what she stands on. But I try to get her to understand, like, you know, it's ways to do everything. And like I teach my kids, we all got consequences, we all got decisions. And when you make a decision, you got to stand on the consequence, good or bad. So I completely agree with her. She made a damn good statement when she brought up the ancestries or whatever, because, you know, um, I got a my grandfather is actually a black man, and he married a Mexican woman. And, my grandfather comes from Shreveport, Louisiana. He came down here because, some things he was raised back in the days or whatever. But my grandfather literally couldn't read or write. I remember being a kid, you know, um, having him to go sign my field trip slip, and it looked like chicken scratch. And I thought my little cousin did it. And I got on my little cousin. My grandma, oh no, it was me. I did it. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. But saying that to say, like, our people's, they fought. They fought with little to no education. And my grandfather died a millionaire. You know what I mean? But he worked for every dollar that he got. A little black boy coming from St. Joe, Louisiana, and like she said, these people coming out here from different countries, they getting our housing, getting all of this kind of stuff, and our people literally had to fight, scrape, die, like one of the things I don't agree with everything he say, but I agree with a lot of stuff. Like Charleston White said, and he brought it to my attention. Even going through school, I never even learned this. They used to feed our babies to alligators, as bait, and stuff like that. Like so, we still ain't been paid back for that. So yeah, I don't know if this will make me worse hated, but I agree with Trump. Get all them MFers that ain't supposed to be here, get them up out of here, man, because it's too much going on. I feel sad for the peoples or whatever, but you know, um, if I did something wrong, wouldn't nobody give a shit about my fan? This ain't tit for tat, but it's right or wrong. People gonna hold me accountable, so other people need to be held accountable. But if that even makes sense, but I'm gonna let
Understandable.
y'all do. I'm gonna let y'all do y'all thing, man, and y'all do look good. And man, shit, let's take this to the top, man. Y'all be good.
Man, hey, listen, I appreciate you calling in, and you calling in having a Mexican wife. That was strong there, my brother. And I respect your opinion on that. And you was just real. The way you saying it, you are living in the house with a Mexican woman that's here legally, and you saying y'all have different opinions on the situation, but you stand on your opinion and she stand on her opinion, and you feel, listen, this how I should be, but she ain't got nothing to worry about because she here legally. But the illegals, you feel like they definitely should be held accountable.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's bittersweet, but yeah. I mean, they have to. Like your last caller said. I mean, shit, where they letting us come to countries and get away from our oppression and our whatever we going through? Ain't nobody letting us nowhere. Man, if we ain't got the United States, I mean, shit, we really ain't got nothing. We can't go back to Africa. We can't go, to Spain, Europe. We definitely can't go to Mexico. You know what I mean? Where do we go? You know what I mean? Like, so it's really all we got. When you really think about it. Because, like I said, the Africans over there, they ain't accepting us whitewash, watered down, Negroes from over here. They don't even like us. We don't even like us. You know what I mean? I mean, like, it's just, it's a very controversial, messy, confusing situation, confusing topic, like I said, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. So with this, I'm gonna just have to do what's right, and I'm all for it. Trump want to extend the wall, make it higher, make it longer, do it. You know what I mean? Trump want to send in that. I got 6 kids. I just, I'm 44 years old. I got a 9-month-old son. I hit the reset button. My oldest daughter is 26 years old this year. 50 people getting killed. Like, man, I'm like this, man. I'm raising my kids to be good, accountable, respectable, model citizens for the world. I just ask everybody else out there, please don't raise your kids to kill mine. Please, please, please. I mean, besides all of this, the whole ICE thing or whatever, like we really got to do better. I mean, we got our babies is killing each other. They killing each other, and so far as mine, like I said, I'm 44 years old, so I came up in the 80s and the 90s. You know what I mean? And we done got older. A lot of us done got older that put a lot of this stuff out here, and now we starting to see the way. Like, dang, we probably really messed up. I mean, but it's passed down from generation to generation. But we just got to do better. That's the one thing I fear. I don't fear a Mexican killing my son or white or whatever. I feel somebody that look like him is going because, like I said, I'm black. My wife is Mexican, so my son is half black, half Mexican. But when you look at my son, you don't see a Mexican. You see a little black boy. You know what I mean? And we just got to do better, man, for these babies, for our golden years. I mean, damn, we done did a number on this thing, man, and we got to find some way to shake it back. But you had said something earlier today, DZ, on another live that you had, and you were like, man, it ain't no going back. It is how it is. We done made it. It's never gonna go back. We're gonna have to find a new way or nothing, because we never gonna hold hands and kumbaya in the middle of the field or whatever. We hate each other too much. But we're gonna have to figure this out, man. We're gonna have to figure this out, because it's bad, man. 50 people, that's in Chicago. When y'all was talking, I thought y'all was talking about all the stuff that happened in LA. LA, they had like 10, 20 people get killed, get shot, and I think like 2 of them died. Just this past weekend. So I mean, it's an overkill, man. I mean, enough is enough. Damn,
I agree.
But yeah, you do your thing, man. Y'all doing good. I'm here to support. I'm with you damn near every night, DZ, whether you know it or not, man.
Hey, listen, bro. I appreciate you calling in, man. I appreciate your support. Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on, bro.
Yes, sir. Okay.
I wanted to know about your family members. I mean, your in-laws, and are your family or I'm wondering if your wife is concerned about her family members that possibly are in this position.
All right, so I don't know if you heard her, but she wants to know about your wife's family members and the in-laws, and what position are they in behind this? How do they feel?
Okay, no, I couldn't hear anything she was saying, but my wife, she's really not too worried about it, because I mean, she was born and raised out here, but her mom, matter of fact, she was just telling me a story a couple of weeks ago about how she was at the grocery store, and they had pulled up on her trying to get her, but it wasn't just her, it was a couple of other ones, so she was able to like kind of get away from them, you know what I mean? And like That's what I mean. And she was telling me about it, and like it's kind of like I said, damned if you do. It's mixed emotions there because now you're talking about somebody that's a part of my family. Because I do love my mother-in-law, and I care about her a great deal. So to hear about it, like I said, it's mixed emotions. It's like, damn, ma, I'm sorry you had to go through that, but still on the other hand, I still, this is where the conflict come in. I still stand on what I stand on. You know what I mean? I mean, even if it was like talking about my son a lot. Even if it was my son, if my son came home and raped, beat, killed, and pillaged the whole village, I would tell my son, you got to go turn yourself in, man, or you got to go do that. You know what I'm saying? I would tell him to do the right thing. So I don't want to be biased to the situation. I'm never going to encourage wrong. I'm never going to turn my back on my peoples or whatever. Well, I'm getting way off the topic, but it's very mixed emotions, because, I stand on, and I've thought about it in that sense too, just luckily, I'm blessed and highly favored to where I don't have an illegal wife, but I thought about it like, dang, what if they came and took my wife or whatever? I mean, yeah, it would hurt or whatever, but then, I mean, there's ways to do everything. You just got to do it the right way. A lot of this stuff is, they work hard, they do this, that's why they out here, they don't work. Man, we built this country, but what I'm saying is, if you working that damn hard, well, do it the right way. It's the way to do anything. They're not saying that, hey, y'all can't never come over here, but it's a reason why you have to go through the channels that you have to go through to become a legal citizen or this and that. We got spies, we got terrorists, we got taxes, we got, it's a lot of stuff, it's a lot of stuff that has to be accounted for. And when you got thousands and hundreds of people just coming over here illegally, you know what I mean? It kind of throws a wrench in the whole thing. And you know what I'm saying? We was already screwed before we even started having to deal with this problem. We was just working on our 40 acres and a mule, trying to shake that out the tree. And then now here we come. We still get pushed on the back burner because now we got to worry about this and ice and all this kind of stuff. And it's just a big mess. It's a cesspool of mess, and it ain't just the people, it's the politicians too, because they can do more. They can do less. The Democrats, the Republicans. It's all part of the system. We all got an opinion, and the only way we gonna fight this, man, not even just as black, whites, Mexican. I'm talking all of us, not as color, but as people. We run this. We just don't know it. If we all come together, that saying that people say, oh, you got 5 fingers and alone they're nothing, but you ball them up into a fist, you'll strike a mighty blow. We just got to come together as a people, set race aside, which I don't see that happening, because even like I said, politicians keep that going. They try to psych everybody out like, oh, we're trying to erase the color lines. They keep like, oh, girl, all of it is money. All of it is greed and money. And this world is going to hell with gasoline draws on fast because don't nobody care about righteousness, whether you believe or don't believe. Don't nobody really have religion. This is the time in my life, like I'm 44 years old. I ain't seen it all, but I done seen enough. You know what I mean? I have never in my life until this time in my era met so many atheists, so many people that don't believe in God, so many people that speak against God. I don't know. Maybe it's always been out there like that. It's just we got the internet now so I can see it more. But like it just blows my mind with just everything, not just the Mexicans, just everything, the religion, how people talk about religion and just, everybody is so carefree. Sometimes real, you could be too real. You know what I mean? And too much of anything is bad for you. Let's stop being real and let's just start telling the truth. You know what I mean? And maybe we could get somewhere. Because this being real thing, this shit ain't getting us nowhere. Everybody is real. Young Thug was real. 6ix9ine was real. Whack at one point in time was real. Everybody is real. Forget this real shit. And that's just tell the truth. That's, I know it sounds commercial, but we're going to have to start loving each other. We're going to have to, I don't know why we hate each other, where that came from, but we're going to have to, like I keep saying, we just going to have to, it's frustrating. I remember one day I woke up and I had to call my mom, this is some years ago, but I woke up and I don't feel like I'm better than nobody else because I got The only thing is I don't have no skeletons in my closet. I don't pimp C when he say this. If you ashamed of what you do, stop doing what you do. Now I ain't do everything right, but it ain't nothing that I've done that I'm ashamed of. It might not all been right, but I remember one day I woke up and I just went outside and I could just see. I don't know if I had an epiphany or whatever, but I could just see all the people, it was bigger than just this world and politics, blacks, white. I just seen all the people that wasn't going to make it. And it was overwhelming. It had overwhelmed my spirit, just like strange people walking by. And I'm like, Lord, oh my gosh, I got to tell these people about you. I got to tell these people, because it's so many people that are not going to make it. And I had to call my mom because she's very, into the Bible and into the Word. And I'm crying. I'm like, Mom, I don't know why I'm crying, but it hurt. I'm looking at the world and I'm just seeing how many people are not going to make it. And I feel like I got to tell everybody. And she calmed me down and said, well, that ain't your battle. The Lord say that ain't your battle. You just do what you can do or whatever. But what I'm saying is, we still worried about the wrong thing. At the end of the day, this is about getting close to God and making sure when you leave when you leave here with your one-way ticket, because it ain't no coming back. Man, that your house is clean and you straight with God. I don't care about no immigrants. I don't care about no politics. See, people are living for the world. They forgot, man, that you got to die one day. That's the one thing. I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, whatever. You got to die one day, man. And everybody is trying to impress the world and do everything for the world and for the world, and they lost it, man. It's not at the end of the day. Like, I'm not a good husband because that's what makes a good man. I'm not a good father because at the end of the day, I do everything that I do because when I take my final rest, I do everything I got to do to get to heaven. I don't do everything I got to do to be a good wife, or be a good husband, or be a good father. Now, being a good husband ain't just going to get you into heaven, but I'm pretty sure that's part of it. So I'm a good husband because I'm a righteous man. I'm a God-fearing man. And everything that I'm saying might not be right. I still got a lot of learning to do. But, I feel like I'm on the right path and headed in the right direction. And I just want everybody to get there. And y'all, I know, everybody don't have the same belief as me, but I'm telling you, Jesus is the key, and we not going to get this thing right. We can't do nothing right without God. We got to have God, and you got to know Jesus to get to God. And I'm just saying, y'all, we got to do better, man. We got to do better. We got to, forget EBT and Section 8, man. We got to start feeding each other, man. We got to start helping. We got to start helping each other. We relying on the government, man. We used to do that, but unfortunately, I wasn't never raised in an era with people, but I've heard about it from my grandparents and my ancestors and my elder generation, how they used to look out for each other and take out. And I'm like, dang, I was born in the wrong, God don't make mistakes, but I like to say, I was born in the wrong era. I should have been born in the slavery days. You know what I mean? Like I look at it, it's just like, that was probably something ignorant to say, but I'm just passionate about what I'm saying. I don't have enough time to get all my thumb. I'm trying to say a lot in a little bit of time, so it might not come out exactly the way that I'm saying it. But hopefully, you guys understand the gist of what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And y'all don't got to worry about me because I'm one of the good ones. And if I see your son out there, I'm not going to try to kill him. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to reach my hand out and I'm going to try to help him or do whatever I can do. So this is one black man that y'all don't got to worry about. And hopefully we got plenty of others, black men and women. If I see my black sister out there, I ain't gonna try to rape her or rob her or nothing. I'm gonna help her across the street. What I'm saying? So we just all gotta get there. Y'all get what I'm saying, but I don't want to keep rambling. Let y'all do y'all thing, man.
Man, I appreciate you calling in, bro, and you definitely, gave your opinion on it. It's all respect, my brother.
Yes, sir. You have a good one, DZ.
All right, you too, my brother.
All right.
Yeah, definitely gave his opinion, and I really like that. He called in having a woman in the household that was Mexican. You know what I'm saying? So it was like he has both sides of it in the household. So I do like that he called and gave his opinion, and how he even spoke about the mother. You know, I definitely like that he gave his opinion on that. You know, and I wish more people would call in and give their opinion, because I'm sure it's people here now that, you know, are watching that have family members that might be going through the same thing, you know. But it's better when you able to speak out and, you know, give your opinion, because, you know, a lot of people be upset but they don't want to speak out and give their opinion. Like, you gotta, you know, be an adult. So if you watching and you got an opinion on this, speak out. Let us hear it, because you might be able to deliver something and say something to be able to have people understand from your point of view, you know, why you feel the way you feel, you know. So that's how I feel on that.
Yeah, no, he was real. I like that. I like that. He was real.
Yeah.
Hmm.
How you feel about the housing authority situation that they're saying 30 days that they're gonna start cleaning it up, and they giving people 30 days to get it together and get the people out of there that's illegal? How do you feel about that with the Section 8?
Well, I'll say this. They were doing it back in the late 90s and the early 2000s when a lot of our young that had turned younger, older black men were getting out of prison, and they was moving into these housing projects and low income apartments with these young women on Section 8 with their babies. And they made it very clear in the contract way back then. No one can be living up in here that's a felon. No one can be living up in here that you don't have on your lease. So all they finna do right now, I'm gonna tell you what they gonna do. And I'm talking too much, and I'm gonna shut up and hang up after this. They going straight to the post office and seeing who been getting mail at that house. And then they gonna run their name through the system and see if they illegal. And if they illegal, they gonna come knocking on that door after they done served you this paperwork they finna serve you as of today. Schools wasn't open, banks, credit unions, mail, nothing operated today at a local, state, or federal level. There was no school for nobody. My son started school August 14th. A lot of people, other schools, don't go back after Labor Day no more. So it's been a lot of children in school. That's why you couldn't find a lot of stuff you was looking for. But going back to what you're saying, they just gonna go to the post office. They gonna go through the welfare system, and they gonna see who was getting mail at these Section 8 and low income housing that was not on the lease and shouldn't have been there. And then they're going to run their name through the system. And it don't matter if you're from Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, China, Russia, Africa, wherever you are that you entered illegally. Just an illegal entry is breaking the law in the United States of America. So they finna move y'all out. But you got the chance, just like other people, you got a chance to self-report. And you get $1,000 for doing it. That's much more than you would have been crossing over the border with nothing. So now you got a chance to get these people out your house before they come through, because they finna come through. Everybody complaining right now. Our commander-in-chief, Donald Trump, has not even been in office a whole year. And he making things happen. And people, he's shaking the tree and ruffling feathers. And people don't like it. My stat on it is, if you're not an American citizen, you should not be able to be in this country illegally and reap benefits that you won't even give to our veterans or our homeless first. You stepping over them. You stepping over them. All of us ain't got it good, but a good majority of us got it good. And if you would take more time out to take care of your American citizens first, we send billions of dollars to other countries, and they take that money and they don't even put it where it needs to be used. They take it for themselves. And Trump then came in and showing y'all whose hand is caught in the cookie jar. And everybody want to be in an uproar. But I promise you, you can't go to their country and outstay your visit, your vacation, your nothing with it without them putting you out, without no uproar. So why everybody all upset over here? Because you done got people caught up in their feelings and their emotions. People done been here too long. See, now it's messing with the economy in Mexico because people scared to come outside because of ICE. So they not going to the check cashing places to send their money back to their country. So their countries are losing billions of dollars a year. Do you know how much people come into this country and take and send it to theirs and don't put nothing back in here? And we just fighting to stay afloat as Americans? No, they need to be gone. You entered this country illegally. And you want the benefits? They won't even give it to us as Americans. And I'm talking about your Democrats. They telling you right now, ain't no problem in Chicago. And they had 50 people shot over the weekend and 5 of them passed away. That ain't a problem. You don't want the National Guards to come in and assist? It did a great job in D.C. It could do it everywhere else. They don't want black on black crime to stop because it's a money bag for them. You got black on black crime, then you got your gang unit. You got your narco unit. You got your public defenders and your district attorneys and stuff doing RICOs on people that it shouldn't even be on. Charging and following them and trying to fight them in court on stuff they know they gonna lose on. You should have went the other way when you went this way. Ain't you educated? Didn't you go to school and get a degree and not a certificate? You wasting taxpayers' money because you got to try to figure out to let them know where this money went because you didn't already took it and it wasn't yours to take. And now you mad at us as black people because we don't want to rock with y'all no more. They say, you don't want nobody to know nothing? Put it in a book. Because you got too many people that ain't going to pick up a book and read it. It's in plain sight. They running amok. They step the American citizens and us as black people because they're funneling them into our communities. And we already underpoverished. Them Al Sharptons, them Jesse Jacksons, them Black Lives Matters, them Maxine Waters, all of them people, they don't care about us. They They giving our monies to illegals. They housing them. They feeding them. And they ain't doing nothing for us. What is the matter? You afraid to speak up? This America. I may have a little bit of African blood in me from the motherland, from my ancestors being brought over here. But at the end of the day, I am a Black American. I come from my ancestors that were hung from trees, that were raped and beaten, worked in fields and didn't get nothing but a broken back. I was blessed to speak, know, and remember my great-grandmother that came from slave ancestry, born in 1896. I'm born in 1969. No, I don't have no compassion for anybody that breaks into this country illegally, because I can't do it in yours. My son say he going to the NFL. He 14. He doing this little thing. He's shucking and jiving. He said, Mama, where you want to go? He said, you can go anywhere. I'm going to go to the NFL. I'm going to take you around the world. I'm going to buy you a house. Where you want to go? I told him, son, I don't want to go nowhere outside of the United States. Why everybody breaking their neck to break in here? Why would I want to leave out of here? When you move your seat, you move your meat. That means you ain't got a spot once you get up. It's musical chairs, baby. That's what they playing with us. Them people in Chicago need help. Them our cousins. Them our people. They shut down them park, rec rooms and everything. Wouldn't let us be in them, but then opened them up and housed them to the illegals.
All right,
The
now
illegals out there running amok.
all right, I want to say this. Somebody said blacks don't stand up. All they want to do is kill, fight, argue, and beg.
You don't know the blacks. We know the blacks. I know, baby, on acres. They down in Texas.
But there's a lot of blacks that, you know, they follow WAC
Not
100 though.
The blacks I know, they about their business.
It's
The
a-
blacks I know, I don't know what blacks they know. Maybe that person need to get themselves intellectually educated by picking up some books and reading them and finding out what's going on.
But they say, you know, them blacks, they be following WAC 100 though. You know, WAC 100 got a lot of black people that, you know, they be following this dude, and just like recently, it's a lot of people going against him. But I mean, for years, WAC got people following this nigga. You know what I mean? And they following the same, you know, style of character between these people.
Listen to me.
That's in the light.
He did until you came on the scene, because what they did to Mr. Marciano and Jay Reed. And you changed the whole narrative. Like, no. I know I'm an East Coast cat, but I just want y'all brothers on the West Coast to know this cat is Fufafi. Because when I used to call in, I used to always say Fugazi, and you would be like, no, it's Fufafi. So no, you changed the narrative, and you gave people something else to look at it. Because everybody want to be loyal to where they're raised, they're born, or where they live in. Whatever going on, you want to be loyal until you show different. And you came on the scene and showed different, and you didn't fall out. You still been in here sticking it out. Respect, discipline, grinding is what we do over here. So I appreciate you for that. I ain't gonna hold you up. I appreciate you. Miss J holding it down. Y'all look cool. Y'all numbers should be up. Y'all look nice. Y'all really do. She look beautiful from a woman aspect, and you look handsome from a man aspect. So you guys, you look nice side by side on the screen like that. That looks nice because it gives two different perspectives of men and women being platonic. Y'all look nice.
I appreciate you, and we appreciate you
All right.
calling in.
All right, baby, later.
All right.
Bye, Queen.
Oh, she said bye.
So am I on delay?
Nah, you good. You good. You only on delay from her hearing it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
When you hear her, you can hear it straight on when
yeah.
I hear it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You know, how do you feel about what's going on with that?
You know, the one thing that comes to my mind is the children that have been born here. So I
Okay.
think that, right. So you talk about the household; they have 30 days to get out. You know, the owners are, you know, um, if they don't comply, they could get arrested. They can get their vouchers taken. You know, all of that. So the place could be shut down. All that. But now I'm just wondering, when it's time to shut everything down, what's going on with these children that are there, that are actually legally, right? They're born here, or most of them are, you know. So what happens with them? And so that's what I think about when this topic comes up. I see both sides. I really can see both sides of, you know, the frustration of having people taking our resources from us here. Um, and but I also know how hardworking some of them are, right? Just like I know how there's some black people that I don't want to be around. You know, there are some good black people, but there are some ones I like. You know, Brandon off of No Jumper,
Mm-hmm.
and Bear or Boogie, or I don't be knowing all these names, but you know, Brandon. To me, he speaks real, and he talks about, you know, the things that a lot of black people, you know, it's like power to the black people and everything, and we all out here hurting each other, i.e., whack. You know, he's out here hurting and damaging people, his own people. So I see
Yeah.
both sides of the coin here, but I'm just kind of concerned about these children that are actually legally.
And that's going to be a major issue because they're not even going to consider the kids.
They got to
When
go.
they come through snatching the adults, they not even going to consider the kids at all. And it's like when I see these type of situations and we talk about the kids, it lets you know that they really don't care about what they, you know, want us to care about. They really don't care about that. They care about the structure and business. It's like the important things to them is structure and business and what's going on. But the kids
Mm.
and how, you know, we supposed to look at kids, and they not caring about that. They'll come wipe everything out and then figure where to put the kids in the foster home or something like that, and don't even care what happens. It's like if they want it a certain way, and I think that's bad, being honest.
Mm-hmm.
But us thinking it's bad ain't going to change how they perceive
No.
things. And you
No.
know, like when they go to war in other countries, they'll harm the babies and everything.
Yep.
They don't care about the kids. It's not like, oh, let me set this kid to the side and I'm gonna knock this person's head off. They knocking the baby off. They knocking everybody off. And it's like we're taught to care about certain things, but in certain situations, the world don't care about what we're taught to care about.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So true. Those kids are gonna have to get out as well. I don't see that they're gonna make any kind of special exception or anything. You know, I am from foster care system, and so that's why I guess I have that's on my heart a little. That's on my heart. Like, what's gonna happen with these kids?
Yeah. And that's like something that, you know, is bad, that they don't even care about what's going to go on with the kids. They just care about the agenda, you know, and it's like, that is bad. But then, you know, I think that, you know, it's hard to say what they should focus on first. You know, I'm not like in that field. So it's like, I could say, oh, they should go at, you know, the drug people first to stop the people from bringing the drugs over, and you know, but then I say, well, maybe if they target this, that's what's gonna stop or cut down the drugs, because they targeting the illegals first. It's like, I don't know their exact mind state for that, but I mean, they just turning it up. And Trump said he was going to do this kind of stuff, but people don't take things serious until they happen.
He said it, you know.
Yeah, like, you know, people should have been trying to get their stuff together legally when they knew Trump was running. Like, that should have been the mission. I know it's probably harder to do it than me just saying it, but it's crazy. Really, you know, we can have compassion for other lives and stuff like that, but not everybody has compassion for life.
No. I think they should start with the felons.
Okay.
I think that's a good start right there, right? They actually, they're over here. They have, and of course, you know, there are probably a lot of people who've committed crimes that haven't been caught yet, but the ones who have I mean, there's a lot of them that, you know, are on probation, parole, in the jails. So starting there, and then maybe trying to give them a little bit more time to get things together. And you're right. He's been saying it from day one. So 30 days versus, but just to kick in 30 days right now that's hard to me. I think that's hard.
It is rough.
But I have a question. So do you think when this happens, because I do think it's going to happen, it sounds like it's going to happen.
30 days.
30 days.
Right. And listen, we already know when he says something like this, he mean it. I can see it now. It's gonna be crazy from what we just seen with ICE going around doing what they was doing.
Yeah,
they're preparing a plan to infiltrate all the housing authorities, and it's gonna be crazy. I can see it now. And you know what I would say to anybody that is in there illegal, start preparing yourself. Don't get caught sitting there thinking that you gonna hide out in the room. Don't think that you gonna hide in the room, because they are gonna have a full plan to blitz this shit.
Yeah, 30 days means 30 days. And I would be 29 days if it was me.
Yeah. Like, you know, and I think some people like ignore these type of signs. That the man is saying it and he done put it all the way out there. I think some people like ignore these signs until it's too late. Like, this should be preparing. Like, you know, if the people that were here illegal were smart, right? You got to just take the risk and go back and then try to come back legal, instead of waiting to get put out, and then they don't want to give you the opportunity to come back legal. You know, I would say that, like, you know, to anybody that's here illegal, go ahead and go back to where you're from and work to get back legal, so that they don't put you out and then they don't let you come back at all.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but some people be like, you know, thinking that they can hide. You know, right now, I don't think too many people are hiding. They got the system designed to find you. It's like, you know, they're thinking way ahead of what we're thinking, you know, because I'm telling you, they do studies on our brains. And they study our brains to know how we think and, you know, the direction that we're going in. And we don't even understand it. We just thinking and moving. They doing studies. They got people that go and they do certain things to study the movement and how you going to think. And I think that the blitz is going to be crazy. And I think we're going to be seeing a similar situation like we just seen.
Yeah. Well, Trump, and you know how he was talking about the wall.
Yeah.
So this been a mission. This is something he's been doing. And I'm going to tell you, I feel like he didn't get that wall that he wanted. And I don't think he hasn't stopped since. He's always had, this has been his goal. And this is going to be his goal while he's in office.
Right.